Top 10 love interests from a video game. Now, we had some trouble coming up with this because some of these are optional.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. We had some trouble. Let's be real. Some of these are optional and some of these are forced, being that you did not choose them. That's the way the story goes. But what the hell? Let's combine them all together.
Okay.
All right. So number 10 is fittingly Final Fantasy X. So the Tidus and Yuna relationship, so that would make the love interest Yuna.
Right.
I was really moved by this game. The ending was probably the first time I really cried at an ending. And I liked it so much that I bought the god-awful Final Fantasy X-2, played it to 100% completion. Oh, it was a big mistake. I should have just gone on YouTube to see that final cutscene that I worked so hard for.
Even that would be a mistake.
No, it's kind of a mistake too. I just wanted them to be together. I wanted him to beat the odds of being metaphysical and come back, and because she missed him so much.
A tale as old as time.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they were both pretty.
Now, there was a relationship mechanic in place
Yes.
with both Lulu and Riku.
But they didn't have enough room, so it was kind of scrapped to turn
Room on
into
the disc.
a friendship. Which one is your friend? Well, aren't they both your friends? My friend was Lulu,
Well, that's nice.
because she's sexy.
I think the playthrough that I saw had Lulu as well.
Riku's cute. Number 9. Do it, Tim.
Number 9 is the Prince of Persia reboot
Yes.
with the Prince and Elika.
Not Farah.
Not Farah, not that one. I thought that
Now,
one
why
was
is
bland.
Elika, why does she edge out Farah?
I think the writing in that game, especially the relationship between those two characters, was really well done, and I was surprised about it when I played it.
Is it because of her mechanic of saving the prince constantly,
No,
keeping him from death?
There are lots of periods that, like, that game is mostly just kind of like a rhythmic platformer, how you traverse through the levels, broken up by these sections where you have to physically carry her.
Oh.
And it's slow, and there's lots of dialogue that happens during that. It's very sweet, and that relationship is like a roller coaster.
Okay, number 8, moving along.
Harvest Moon, I think. Pick any game. I think the Super Nintendo one is my favorite.
Okay, so in this one, it's a bunch of NPCs, so we couldn't name one NPC to be your romantic interest.
Right. First and foremost, it's a farming simulator, but I don't even remember how much farming I did. You go right to town and you talk to all the girls and the relationships. One of the nice things about the Harvest Moon franchise, I think it's more than one game, but it's certainly this one, is that for every possible female NPC that you can have a relationship with, there's also a male rival of yours that would also end up with that NPC.
Testosterone.
Because you can't obviously marry all of them. I don't even think you can marry more than one. So what you could do is start a relationship with all of them, but never bring that to a conclusion, and it's like a matchmaking sim. Like you're making all these couples happen in your little Harvest Moon world.
Or you can just go on that farming dating site, huh?
Is that a real
Same
thing?
thing. It's a real thing.
I'm gonna
And I
check
have
that out
not
later.
been to it.
No, you're not a farmer, obviously.
Number 7 is Cortana. Well, she had always been Master Chief's. She'd always been on his side, and he didn't seem to be too bothered about an eternity in space as long as she was there. But it came to a head in Halo 4.
Right. Up until then, it was always just an implied romance that really the player kind of ran with more than the game ever explained. But in Halo
Sometimes
4,
equipping the player to have imagination or to imprint whatever is one of the strongest mechanics you can do.
Sure.
So that all came to a head in Halo 4 in a very touching scene,
Spoilers?
which I do not want to spoil,
Spoilers,
which
okay.
I'm not spoiling. I just said it was
That's
touching.
unlike you.
It's touching.
It's very unlike you.
Yeah, it's weird. Number 6,
Uncharted. And,
but which one?
See, you went with Chloe.
I went with Chloe because
is
she
not a
is
real
fun.
relationship that happens
I
in the
don't
game.
care. She's a love interest. I didn't say like wife.
They
I
do
said
it.
no. I didn't say it for Chloe.
Right.
Anyway, okay.
But canon, spoiler alert, he doesn't end up with Chloe. But
I'm
in
just
your
saying
world,
I like Chloe, and maybe he should have
does.
gone with her because she is fun and she can hold her own, and she is exciting. And I hate Elena. I hate her so much.
the truth comes out.
Yes. Mainly I just hate Elena because she's annoying. To me, she's just always like, not without me, babe. And it's just like, oh, go away.
We might have played different Uncharted.
I don't like
She's
her.
a strong, independent woman.
No, she is annoying.
She didn't need any help from Nathan.
She kind of did.
Except for all the time she needed to be saved.
Yeah.
But besides those, she's a little spitfire.
No.
Which one did you prefer, Internet?
And don't say Sully. because that is his dad.
Dude, that's one of the best bromances in gaming.
Bromance is different than romance. I didn't say best
I don't know
gaming
about that.
bromances.
Man, Nate and Sully have some really good scenes together. And yes, they have kind of a father-son dynamic
He
going
is
on.
his dad, and that is weird.
They're best friends.
Yeah, they're BFFs. I'm okay with that. Tell us about number 5.
Number 5.
I'm verklempt.
Alex Vance.
Yes.
This is one of those that isn't optional and isn't really non-optional. It's really more implied. over the
Well,
course
it's
of
hard
this
to
series.
be in a romance with someone who can't talk at all.
Yeah, although the strong silent type is certainly Gordon Freeman.
Yeah, some ladies like that. And I think it was sweet.
They have a lot of good moments together.
Mm-hmm.
But that story hasn't come to its conclusion yet. Although Half-Life 3 trademarked by Valve, unsurprisingly, actually surprisingly that it hasn't already happened years
Yeah.
ago. You'd think they would
They
have
should have at least
snapped up
trademarked
3,
it.
4, 5, and 6.
I would say not confirmed, but very cool that it was trademarked.
Yes.
Moving on to number 4, which is Many People.
Yes, it is the entire female kingdom of Hyrule, and other kingdoms even. Because one of the best things
Get
about
it.
The Legend of Zelda is that every female that you meet falls hopelessly in love with you, or at least flirts with you shamelessly. Even though you're on this quest for Zelda, and sometimes she's a 9-year-old girl, and you're a 9-year-old guy,
Which makes it okay.
which makes it okay. But Link is a pimp,
He is.
straight up pimp.
You know, people make fun of him a lot for the tights, but he is
No one does that.
He's a straight up pimp.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you can research online, although I would recommend putting Safe Search on for any other Link and
Is there a lot of
other NPC relationship, because a
Rule
lot of people
34
run with
stuff?
those. Well, there's Rule 34 stuff, but there's also like fanfic stuff,
okay?
like
It would take
girls
me a while to
that people wish Link ended up with instead.
Who would you like to see him with, ideally?
See, I wish you wouldn't put me on the spot because I'm blanking on the girl in the beginning of
Oh shit.
Twilight Princess, that little farm girl that you're like best friends with and you grew up with. And then everyone runs with Midna too from that game as well.
I don't like Midna.
Well, she's a weird little pixie.
Yeah, that's why I don't like her.
Twilight Princess.
She's a little twerp.
I don't have any problems with her. She's usually more trouble than she's worth, but she's helpful, especially when you're a wolf.
Exactly. Number 3, it could be one of 2. Interestingly enough, from Final Fantasy VII, Aerith or Tifa. Now,
This is probably one of the most divisive ones on the list.
it's very divisive. That's why I included them both, because there is a compelling argument for both. I personally prefer Aerith. Aerith.
Oh, that's a divisive argument.
That is
all on
also
itself.
another argument. Aerith, Aerith.
For the 3 of you that haven't played it, we're talking about Aerith and Tifa.
Yeah.
Fantasy VII.
Actually, no. There's reasons why I would like Tifa too.
Childhood friend.
Childhood
grew up with
friend.
Cloud.
She kind of understands about like Aerith and that attraction there, and she's still there for him. And then at the end, she's kind of just there.
And then at one point, the decision is made for you.
Oh,
So
no, that's not a spoiler anymore.
I didn't say anything specific.
Yeah.
You should know.
But it's very beautiful, his relationship with Aerith too. And then in Kingdom Hearts, it's kind of implied again because he's like looking for her. And also, fuck Zack. Am I right or am I right?
Now we're talking about the
Her first boyfriend.
right from
Before?
Crisis Core.
Sure.
Crisis Core, that's the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, you're also forgetting about the 2 other relationships that you can have in that game.
Yuffie.
And if you are a dick to Yuffie and Aerith and Tifa, you can go on a date with Barrett.
I would go out with Barrett.
Sure.
Number 2, The Sims. And you insisted on this one.
Yes.
And I want you to explain why.
Because your love interest is The Sims is that girl that you had a crush on in high school but couldn't bring up the courage to talk to.
I just always dated the NPCs.
No. You went home and you made a family and a character and you named your wife that, and then you had kids and you spent hours in front of the Sims.
And then you realized how tedious and boring your life would have been with that person. But then you realized your life would have been tedious and boring anyway.
Maybe, but
Such is the conundrum of The Sims.
You had a pool though, so that was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that you could drown in if you remove the ladder.
You sick fuck.
And then, like, if you remove the door and light the thing on fire.
We had vastly different Sims experiences.
I'm kind of a murderer. And our number 1 choice is also open-ended.
Yes, those are the best relationships, the ones that you get to actually choose.
These are the ones, I think people know where I'm going with this. I'm going with Mass Effect, because you do get to pick your love interest across 3 games, across 2 genders. You don't have to be straight. There's just so many options. You don't have to be straight.
People.
Fuck,
And
you can be
that's-
bi too.
That's in real life.
Yeah.
Also.
Just letting you know. Do I divide it by Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3? Femshep,
Well,
Broshep?
1 only gives you 3 choices.
Yes.
Caden and Ashley and Liara.
Liara.
So 2 is where it really opens up.
So in Mass Effect 2, as male Shep, you can choose Miranda, Tally, or Jack, right? And then as female Shep, you can choose Thane, Garrus, and the other guy. Jacob?
Jacob, I think
He's
is
super
correct.
boring. That's why I forgot him. And then I think you
Does
can also
Caden come
get
back?
Kelly. Caden is mad at, okay.
I
Here's
shouldn't
my
have-
personal
I shouldn't
story.
have opened this box.
I was a femshep who stayed faithful to Caden through all 3 games, which makes me super boring, but also the best
And
ever.
weird.
No, it's not weird. It's not.
Weird and boring.
Because I was faithful to him. Anyway,
No, you're just weird.
in the second one, he's mad at her, spoiler, for joining Cerberus, so you don't really see that much of him. So you can actually cheat on him and then go back in Mass Effect 3 if you want to, or just move on with your life. I was a good girl and I didn't do that.
Good to know.
Yeah. Well, I liked him a lot because, well, first of all, his voice is really hot. And secondly, he's kind of like this strong character. He's not like an asshole, strong and quiet, but also he's got a lot to him, like his past. And I liked him a lot, and I felt like he was always there. And also, in Mass Effect 3, he will date male Shep too, because he is Shepard sexual. That's what I like.
Yeah, I mean, BioWare's always good for having not only in-depth romance storylines, but also really awkward sex scenes. So
Yeah.
there-
Well, if you chose Garrus, also a good choice, very good choice.
excellent choice. The chef recommends.
He's my second choice, but only because I like Garrus to end up with Tally in the third one, because I
that
think their
happens, yeah.
interactions are so cute. And that they're trying to kiss, but they can't really do it because they can't touch because of her mask. And he goes, oh, my mandible got stuck in her helmet. It was so cute.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
think-
gosh. And you know what that couple is called? Talibrations.
What?
I mean, how can you not? That
a
has
play on words.
So to me, it's Femshep and Elenko, Talibrations, and Ashley in the cemetery.
So when will we be able to read your fan fiction about all this?
I can
It's
write
clearly
it now.
you feel passionately about it.
I do. Well, what did you end up doing?
I thought one of the best written relationships in those games was male Shepard and Garrus.
Ooh,
I think
really?
they have an awesome bromance.
But I feel like, see, there you go again, making the bromance into the romance. But I feel like
no, because you can have your other romances
Garrus
on
is
the
like
side.
Shep's best friend. That's
think
that's how I
think
like
went
to.
with Jack on the first playthrough.
I like Jack too. I would pick Jack. Yeah, she crazy.
I think that the Mass Effect relationships have a distinct advantage over the Dragon Age relationships.
They're more fleshed out.
because you're not covered in blood
Oh, and that.
all the time. Which
Sometimes.
is weird to have a romantic conversation with someone when they're splattered in the blood of their enemies.
Unless you're into that.
Unless you're into that, which you could be.
I mean, some people are.
I mean, I just think how it's interesting that a lot of our viewers got to know what you look for in a man, which I think will be a topic of
No,
conversation.
it
in the
won't. They
comments.
never talk about that or my physical appearance. It's always straight on the topic. And with that, please leave your comments below on the topic.
Did we miss any obvious relationships?
Obviously, we did. We missed all the JRPGs.
And what I took out of doing research for this is that I need to play a game called To the Moon,
Okay.
because everyone was all about the relationships in that game. Tears were shed.
All right. So
Souls
leave your
bared.
comments below. Don't forget to share and like, and bang, boom, straight to the moon. Get it? You get it. It's very clever.